fighting is that you live to fight another day. You can always make those improvements and make those changes and make those adjustments and come back at a later date and try it again. So we'll see if Carly Stein sticks with it, but I'd be happy if she did.
As he makes his ring walk, Mark Broxterman.
The Shark. Went up to the Dropkick Murphys.
A very fitting song just because, it's got the Jaws intro. So it's all about. But he's the Shark. He's not Jaws. He's Mark Broxterman.
Is it me, or as the night goes on, the entourages get bigger?
You know what? It's quite possible. As the night goes on, I think people consume more drinks. And as people consume more drinks...
What gives you that impression, Cody?
As people consume more drinks, they tend to join entourages.
Yeah.
It's a problem as old as entourages. Look at this entourage, though. My God, Justin Turco. Just incredible. Great name, by the way, after the fantastic pro wrestler, Just Incredible. Just Incredible Turco. Look at this. They got his face on signs.
Yeah, that's... Wow.
And the one sign says he just hopes everybody has fun. It seems like he's also a nice guy. Just Incredible Turco taking on Mark Broxterman, the Shark. And I'm not going to call them heavyweights, and they're not overly big, but we've got some sizable guys, certainly bigger than myself, and we're going to see some power on the line, and that always makes things interesting.
Well, maybe we'll see the second knockout of the night. We'll see.
Time will only tell. Time will only tell. Broxterman's going to have a little bit of height. He looks confident. He looks composed in there. He's going to have that height and have that reach. That, again, as we keep saying, not necessarily the end-all, be-all at this level, just because a lot of times you might not be familiar with your own size, your own advantages. It's still a work in progress.
You got to find that range, right? You don't have a lot of time to do it.
No,
you only have a couple minutes, so...
in pro boxing, a lot of times guys go out and take a minute, 2 minutes as a feel out. Some guys take a round or 2 rounds as a feel out. You do not have enough time to have a feel out process. You got to go out there and you got to get to it. And with Justin Turco really gives me the impression that he realizes he's the shorter guy and he knows what he's got to do. He's going to have to let those hands go and he's going to have to make this a brawl.
Ooh, he landed a good right
hand.
And
if that would have landed 2 inches further, it would have done some big time damage.
Yep.
But they're slugging. This is anybody's fight.
These guys are swinging.
Anybody's fight. It's going to be who lands
swinging.
It's going to be who lands the big shot first because both guys are not for a lack of effort. They are trying. They are throwing. Broxterman get a little bit of a jab there. Looks like he's trying to find the range. Turco, the shorter guy, so it's going to be harder for him to kind of find the chin, find the moneymaker. Find his accuracy with his punches. You see a lot of that. Ooh. A wing and punch as he's moving back, there.
That was to the body.
What we'll see with Justin Turco is that because he's on his back foot, he waits, and he unloads with the big shot. And it just appears that Broxterman might have him scouted out. See, again, he moves in, he'll fade back, he'll let that big punch miss. We're getting a lot of leading with the head here. Hopefully no point being deducted, but... Also, that's just the nature of the beast.
And you know what? The way these guys are swinging, don't be surprised to see a knockdown or a knockout at some point because one of these punches lands. These are big guys.
No, exactly. And earlier tonight, we saw Bruce Bowser coming in with the great name, Bowser. But what we're seeing here is Justin Turco physically has Bowser tattooed on his leg.
Justin Turco got a standing 8 count right at the end of the first round there.
Justin Turco, he was overwhelmed with a couple of the series of punches in that round, but ultimately...
Round's over. That was a lapse on the referee.
Yeah.
Not sure that he heard the bell, but the music and
should have heard the music.
Yeah.
But the DJ did this one time earlier.
To be fair, it has been a long night.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. The main thing is none of the Wolfpack cheerleaders ate inadvertent left hook.
Yes.
Because these guys are all over the ring, Chad. You can't be too safe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's another sign of amateur boxing is, the rapid movement around the ring, right?
Yep. Absolutely. No, I know. You hear a lot of times people talk about pro boxing. They'll say, oh, that's the pro style. There's not a whole lot of movement. By the time you get to the pro ranks, you figured it out.
Oh yeah, you can fight in a phone booth at that point.
And you also know how to conserve energy. You don't make these wasted movements. In MMA, a lot of the time, guys, they'll run around in circles and they get tired.
But that's a whole other game, right?
It's a whole other game.
Kicks
But with boxing especially, it's a lot of energy conservation. And at the amateur level, you just don't see that. You see a lot more bouncing around. You see a lot of more nervous twitches, which ultimately all result in you tiring out. So
I'm not sure what the ref has to say to these guys, but he called them both over.
It was a frantic round. I could see a lot of leading with the head, and maybe he just says, "Listen, boys, cool it down a little bit."
Well, these guys look like they're gun swinging, right? And
well, Turco certainly is. He's got the big right hand. The jab is more of a distance finder for him, and he hasn't really found the distance. But he's got that big right hand, and he's throwing it reckless abandon.
Broxterman just landed a big right hand, and it looks like he's loading it up. Boom.
Broxterman's
again.
He's seeing the punches coming
They're
now.
right in front of us here.
This fight could be over soon.
Yeah. And someone behind us is yelling, "Let him fight!" But
let him fight. Well, I mean, it was
right?
certainly heating up there. But you can see Broxterman starting to get confident because he's not respecting the power, and he's seeing the punch coming. So it's allowing him to just move out of the way. And every time your opponent misses on you, you're growing in confidence.
Well, it takes more energy to miss, eh? Keep that in mind. When you miss a punch, it actually drains more of your energy than when you land it.
And that sequence right there is a perfect example of the philosophy of boxing, which is hit and not hit. And that was what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's make him miss and make him pay. And what we saw there is Justin Turco missed, and immediately Broxterman made him pay. Big right hand, stuns him, gets the count, and another solid right. And again, the right hand
again.
And he'll just march him down. He knows he's got the distance. He's got the reach. The right hand is almost landing.
He said he turned it, but I don't think so. I think he was rocked.
That was the punch turning him.
Yeah, I don't think he turned there.
Yeah.
I you know what, though?
I would give him a count.
If you're Justin Turco, you're lucky because that would have been the end of the fight.
Maybe that's why he didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
Because for my money's worth, that was a clean flush punch
that
to the face
landed on the chin. There's no doubt about it.
That stunned him. But, Turco lives to fight another round. Coming up in the third round, he's had moments, but it's very tough when you've got 3 minutes. Your corner is trying to give you, straight to the point advice, but it's hard to apply that advice in the midst of having Mark Broxterman in your face. Listen, he come out with the nickname The Shark. He had the Jaws theme. The guy is a shark. The guy smells blood, and he doesn't play around. The first round, he took his time. He analyzed the situation, he found his range. That second round, he showed Turco no mercy. He went at him, he hurt him, he stung him, he stayed on him. The question here is, does Broxterman want to get the finish? If he wants to finish...
I think he wants to finish. I'm expecting a big right hand right up the top.
He just needs the one knockdown, and they'll call it. And if he's content with winning the last 2 rounds, then
he's winding up that big right hand.
Broxterman
that's
wants,
it. That's the fight.
That's
the fight.
Yeah, and kudos to Justin Turco. He nods. He understands. He's okay. He's safe. That's the main thing.
No, the fight's over.
But why bother having another one of those Broxterman right hands catch you?
Yep. Congratulations to Mark Broxterman. His corner was chanting Chuck. Not sure where that came from, seeing as how his nickname's the Shark. But either way, the EMBR events employee has walked away with a TKO win.
Yeah, you can hear them calling Mark the Shark. Mark.
Is that what they're yelling?
That's what they're yelling.
Oh, from here, I thought they were yelling Chuck. See, I was like, "Who's Chuck?" I was like, "That fight's tomorrow, and it's on pay-per-view. It's not here."
I've been very impressed with every fighter tonight. The level of every fighter, the heart of every fighter. Everybody had intangibles that I liked, but there is about 4 or 5 fighters that I would keep my eye on, that I would honestly say these people knew what they were doing, and they could be exciting talents if they start doing it. This Mark Broxterman, he looked good. He was composed. He had a laser of a right hand. It was extremely accurate. I would love to see the numbers on how many times he landed it. A good performance all around for Mark the Shark. Smelt the blood, took out his opponent, did everything he needed to do. Got caught a couple times, unfazed. Very solid performance from Mark Broxterman, and hopefully he's another one of these guys that keeps with it, because there is something there. Never going to be world championship level, but he doesn't want to be at that level. It's the personal challenge of, can I do this? And Broxterman proved tonight, assuming that was the first time he's ever done it, he proved tonight he most definitely can do this.
Absolutely, and someone just threw a shark.
They're responsible for all of the online.
I saw the shark come flying. It hit you. Did it hit you?
It hit me, knocked over my water bottle, which had a cap, by the way, so
did
joke's
not-
on you, whoever did
It
that.
did not hit me, thankfully. Obviously, Mark the Shark's corner man threw it, or one of his entourage members threw it, because, yes, it was a
Is
stuffed
that where
shark.
I didn't even see it come, to be honest with you.
I saw it come from the other side of the ring apron. It just kind of flopped over and then landed on the table.
I actually thought it came from behind. So, but I was watching the referees and the doctor there. Took a look at Justin Turco. It's it's important that fighters are safe, and it looks like he's good to go. We have 3 fights left. Billy Phillips, big rig, taking on Julian Weeman. Don Julio, what a name, Don Julio.
Don Julio. Oh, and Billy Phillips is coming out to the death metal. Let's go. Big rig in the house.